we had an outside investor come up with a bunch of questions, and Blake, sir, I'll let you take it away. I only read the first one. I don't really know what they are, but it looked like it was a bunch of good stuff. So I'll let you take it away. You ask, and I will be here to answer.
Well, awesome. First off, there's roughly 7 questions that I'm going to be asking you, Lenny.
Okay.
And we'll start off at the very top, and it's kind of going from, past experiences to now is what it appears to be. So the very first question, Lenny, that we would all like to hear from you about is, number one, what was your experience in the ink business before creating Greene Concepts? Include, how many years that you were involved before starting Greene Concepts.
Excellent, excellent. 38, 39 years ago, now I'm letting you all know my age, I came into the typewriter maintenance business in New York City, and I built a typewriter maintenance company which had 300 technicians. I was the first typewriter technician. I was on the inventory crew doing the preventive maintenances. All the contracts included 2 preventive maintenances on a typewriter per year, and we would go around and we would take the platen out, which is this big black roller. For those of you that are young, you probably have seen a typewriter on TV or in the movies. Otherwise, the rest of you kind of know what a typewriter is. And I built the typewriter maintenance company from the ground up. And from day one, we looked at the document. Once that document was printed, we pulled it out of the typewriter. And we, as a typewriter technician, we used to type after we repaired the typewriter. We pulled this out, and we would type before we pulled it out. The dog jumped over the fence and ran through the yard. So this is 38, 39 years ago, 1976. You could do the math. I stopped counting at like 35 years, but I think it's 38, 39 years ago. And we would look at the paper after, and the question I'd ask the customer, is it crisp? Is it clear? Is it sharp looking? So we'd look together at the dog jumped over the fence and ran through the yard, and we would then say to each other, yeah, it looks like this typewriter's fixed. We would then hand the guy our bill slip, he'd sign off, and that way we'd be able to bill that account. We'd move on to our next service call. So that's how it all started. That is the same business we are all in together as a team today. When somebody prints today with an inkjet printer or a toner printer using our InkwayUSA inks or our Intelligence inks, when that document or that picture is done, we look at it, is it sharp, is it clear, is it crisp looking? And we want the customer, and all of our customers that we're getting feedback from are saying, wow, this ink looks like it's better than the manufacturer's ink. And that's the business we're in today. That's the business where we started. By 1980, I opened up a division for computer maintenance and specialized in the printers that were attached to computers. And that company, later on, it branched off into its own company, and that company became InkwayUSA, short for Computer Service Company. And by 1981, I sold the typewriter business for a profit, and I was no longer in typewriters, just in PC maintenance and printer maintenance. And that business went on. It's still running in New York today, InkwayUSA. My first 2 technicians, Marty and Tom, that came on, and they were my first 2 technicians. I grew this company. All these companies, by the way, started in my garage and grew to large amount of employees, large amount of office space. The first company had 300 employees. The second company, by the time I sold it to Marty and Tom, who were my first 2 technicians, and they're the owners today, 50-50, of InkwayUSA. We had 1,000 technicians in 55 countries repairing printers, repairing PC monitors, repairing Cisco routers, hubs, doing the software maintenance, all that stuff. 1,000 technicians in 55 countries. I sold that company to Marty and Tom in the year 2000, and I was going to retire. I have 4 daughters, 4 beautiful daughters, and they were younger at the time. It was 15 years ago, and for about 90 days, I drove them my youngest to soccer and another one to softball, and for about 90 days, I was retired, and I came back and said to my wife, I'm pulling my hair out of my head. As you can see, I don't have much hair to pull out of my head. But I said I can't keep driving these guys to soccer and dance and softball. I'm a business guy. I'm an entrepreneur. I need to get back into business. So I then started to plan what was next. And out of that planning, so we had, again, A.J. Greene Business Machines, the typewriter maintenance company, for many years. In 81, we sold it. Now, from 81 to the year 2000, it was InkwayUSA, and I sold that in 2000, and then started to plan what we were going to do. By July of 2001, I incorporated Acubrite Incorporated. So that's how it all started, and I was looking at stats for a long time. The last 3 years at Concepts, what happened at Concepts was all of my buyers, and we had large accounts that had 50,000 computer systems. Some had 60,000 computer systems, 30,000, and we had them all on maintenance contracts with technicians going in. It was just a growth from the typewriter maintenance contracts to what I learned there. I brought forward and implemented that at Concepts and built that from the ground up, from one account to another. By the time I left, we had over 300 large accounts. And so the buyers at, let's say, Bank of New York, Citibank, European American Bank, Robobank, AT&T, CBS, ABC, I had all those accounts. We kept saying, can we buy ink and toner from you? And that was the only thing Concepts didn't do. We did everything else, soup to nuts, whatever they wanted. We gave them unlimited service calls, unlimited parts, unlimited labor in a yearly contract, and we charged them one price per user. And if there was 50,000 users, it was 50,000 times that price. And the only thing we didn't do is we didn't sell them ink and toner. And so for 3 years, I kept hearing, you should also add ink and toner to the business. You know, we're buying it from this other vendor, and we love the work that you and your team are doing throughout our locations. Like Bank of New York had like something like 35, 40 locations in New York City alone. ABC had locations all throughout the country. ABC News, CBS News, you know, hundreds and hundreds of locations that we service. And again, we were in 55 countries. You know, if a printer went down in Malaysia, our technicians would arrive within 2 hours after the service call, and that printer was up and running in 4 hours the most. So 2 hours after we were there, the most. Otherwise, usually we'd get there within 2 hours, and within 2 hours and 20 minutes, they were up and running. We used to have the saying at Concepts, online, on time, or on us. And that was a saying that I created: on time, online, or on us. And I don't remember ever in the over the 20 years that I was there, it ever being on us. So we always got it done. So the buyers kept saying, you should sell ink and toner, and I started to look into ink and toner and look into the statistics of the industry. So the industry was 66 billion combined inkjet, about 33 billion last year, and toner, $67 billion, and it's projected now to grow to $127 billion by 2017. That's just 2 years from now. So everybody at Acubrite, everybody at InkwayUSA, everybody at Greene Concepts, we're in this thing at the right time. We're at the right time, right place. The foundation is set up, and we're ready to explode. So I started to, you know, again, we're in the year 2000. I came out of retirement. My wife said, what do you want to do? I said, I'm not really sure. And I would get up every morning. I was a suit and tie guy, a Wall Street guy. Our offices were in New York City, and a suit and tie 6 days a week. And I would put a suit and tie on in the house, go into my home office, and sit there and create what was next. And so what came out of it was Acubrite Incorporated, and I started to invent the do-it-yourself ink formulations that would go into the inkjet cartridges. And at first, I thought that I would sell barrels of ink to HP and to Lexmark and to Canon and Epson, and I would create the highest quality ink formulations on this planet and go to Mr. HP or Mrs. HP, whoever was the CEO, and sell them my formulations. And along the way, I came up with, why don't I create a way to get my ink formulations back into the manufacturer's cartridges, the cartridges that you already own. It would be a go green, refill, reuse, recycle business. And I started to draw plans on paper in early 2001, July 2001, when we incorporated. I had 185,000, I'm sorry, 185 page business plan. And I would walk around with it, and it was in a folder, and I would pull it out, and I would show investors, here's what I'm going to create, here's what I'm going to invent. And I started to invent, we invented over 200 inkjet formulations. We picked the 5 best for the InkwayUSA refill systems, the 5 best, the best black, the best yellow, cyan, and magenta formulations that we came up with. And then I created the tools, accessories, and instructions to deliver our inks into the cartridges you already own. And we also have over 50 toner refill kits that I've created that you take the big toner cartridge, not the little one that goes in your hand. The little one is the InkwayUSA refill system. Our inks go in there, but the toner cartridge that you can refill using our toner refill kit, instead of throwing that cartridge into a landfill. You know, last year's cartridges lined the earth. If you lined them up, it circled the earth 3 times. That's how many cartridges were put in landfills last year. So $127 billion industry. That's where we came from. Typewriters to InkwayUSA to Acubrite. 4 years ago, 4.5 years ago, we took Acubrite and we went public on the stock exchange. And we did a reverse merger into a public company, and we immediately changed the name to Greene Concepts. And that's what we are today. We're Greene Concepts, Acubrite, and InkwayUSA. So that's the answer to that first question.
Okay, awesome. I appreciate that. Now, I don't know if it's actually included. Why did you create Greene Concepts?
Okay, we had Acubrite, and we knew that this is a product that, you know, we don't have to look for customers. You guys, as distributors at InkwayUSA, don't have to look for customers. Everybody you talk to is already a customer of ink or toner or both. So everybody you talk to has a printer, either at their office or at their home. Most people have them at their office and their home. There's an average of 2 printers in every home in the USA right now, and it's like that throughout the world now. And people have inkjet printers and laser printers in their homes, and anyone you talk to, they'll tell you, well, I don't let my kids print. You know, I'm sick and tired of spending too much money on my ink and toner cartridges. I tell my kids, just print in black, no pictures, don't print. Once they start using InkwayUSA, the refill system, the no mess, the world's first and only no mess refill system, they tell their kids, print anything you want. Okay?
They all have their own toolboxes.
All right, you need to mute out Bosco. Bosco, hit *6 to mute yourself out. All right. Now, hit me with that question again. Just bring me back up to speed.
Well, the question, Lenny, is just why did you create Greene Concepts?
Gotcha. So Acubrite did a reverse merger into a public company, and we knew this is a product for the masses, and we wanted to go public on the stock exchange so that we can bring this to the masses, be a publicly traded company. Our plan right now, we're OTC markets, pink sheets, which is the bottom of the market structure. And our plans are to move up to OTC QB, then move up to OTC QX, and then from there either move up to the New York Stock Exchange, the American Stock Exchange, or the NASDAQ, and be a global position company with products that people on this planet use all the time. So that's why I created the public company, and now it's called Greene Concepts, and it owns Acubrite as a wholly owned subsidiary, and it owns InkwayUSA, which is our division that's about to launch shortly in the new year. And we plan on having 500,000 distributors in a short period of time worldwide, selling their own products to their friends, their neighbors, community members. So that's question number 2.
Okay, awesome. I appreciate that. Question number 3 for you, Lenny, is actually it's not so much a question, it's more of a kind of an explanation, I imagine. It's simply, can you explain the Greene Concepts structure? Also include the difference between Acubrite and Inkway?
Perfect. So we have Greene Concepts, and that's the parent company. That's the publicly traded company. It owns Acubrite as a wholly owned subsidiary, and it owns InkwayUSA as a wholly owned subsidiary. Acubrite is like my little baby. It's where everything was invented. All of our proprietary secrets are held by Acubrite. Our trademarks, our copyrights, our patents are all at Acubrite. Everything I did started in 2000. And it was all in 2001, July 23rd, 22nd, July 22nd, 2001, we incorporated Acubrite. Everything was done at Acubrite. So Acubrite is the manufacturing arm for Greene Concepts and for InkwayUSA. So the InkwayUSA refill system is manufactured at Acubrite. Acubrite manufactures that system. The intelligence system is manufactured at Acubrite. There's 10 other brands, so that if we're, like on December 3rd, just to let you all know, we have a presentation at a large USA drugstore. And the sales guy in that store for that chain saw our YouTube video last week and contacted me this week. Said, I saw your video, I was really excited. I think this is a great product for the drugstore chain. I already sell into that chain. I'm already friends with the buyer. I'm going to present to him on December 3rd. So, when this is sold from Acubrite, 15% of the profits of Acubrite will go into the InkwayUSA Elite Bonus Pool that gets dispersed out every 6 months. I was explaining earlier at Inkway, there's the 5 ways to get paid in our Synergy compensation plan. And one of them is the Elite Profit Pool. So we're the first, by the way, on this planet to do a company that's a direct consumer marketing company mixed with a retail division, with profits from the retail division not competing with our distributors at InkwayUSA, but the profits are going into the Elite Pool. So that you guys can spread the word. When there's 100,000 InkwayUSA distributors on the streets worldwide, well, you'll be bringing up, oh, let's get into this store and that store and that store. You'll be paid well for it, commissioned well for it, and 15% of those profits from Acubrite will go into the Elite Pool, so everybody's checks get bigger and bigger and bigger. So Acubrite's the manufacturing arm. Acubrite's where it all started. InkwayUSA is the consumer direct marketing division. I have a homegrown written compensation plan. It's not like Amway, it's not like Melaleuca or Herbalife. It's a special plan that we put together that we've named the Synergy Compensation Plan at InkwayUSA. It took about 4 years to write this plan, and I wrote this plan with the collaboration of SEC attorneys, multi-level marketing attorneys, accountants, and lots of other co-workers that put their time and energy into this. So it was a team effort, and now we have the Synergy Compensation Plan that's been approved by the MLM attorneys, because we are looked at by the SEC and we're looked at by FINRA, and we can't, we have to be approved by them. And we've had 2 different calls with the SEC, with FINRA, to go over these things in detail, so that when we launch, it's already approved by the SEC and by FINRA. So we don't want to launch a company, grow to 100,000 distributors, and have the SEC close us down because there's something in our compensation plan that they don't like, or that's not kosher or not legal. So InkwayUSA is about to launch in the new year. We've put a lot of time, a lot of energy, and a lot of money. Basically, I've taken every penny I have had and put it into this business. So InkwayUSA is our consumer direct marketing division. It's going to launch in early January. We have over 1,000 distributors already on board from our pre-launch. In our compensation plan, there's room for 10 founding forefathers. A founding forefather, and we have a write-up on that, but we'll go over that another time. But a founding forefather comes on board at InkwayUSA and commits to bringing 10,000 people in their organization with them. So people at Amway, people at Herbalife, Melaleuca, just to name 3, all of the people in their organization that are already selling those products, if we don't compete with them, and all of their people are already ink and toner customers. They're already going to the superstores. They're going to, all of them are buying their ink and toner. 9 out of 10 people are buying their ink and toner at Staples, Office Max, Office Depot. And let me ask you a question. Do you know the answer? I think, Robert, you do, but a lot of you, just think of a number in your head. I know that you're on mute, but what do you think it costs the average consumer for a gallon of black ink? Think about that for one moment. A gallon of black ink when they buy their cartridges at Staples, Office Max, or Office Depot. Think of a number in your head for a minute. I'll give you a minute to think about it. All right, are you ready for the answer? It comes to $7,000 for a gallon of black ink. And that is just ridiculous. And at Greene Concepts, at Acubrite, at InkwayUSA, we are the alternative. Okay? So, you know, if you go to Costco and you buy a discounted 3-cartridge pack, you're still spending $6,000 for a gallon of black ink. And it's more for color. So, InkwayUSA, Acubrite, Greene Concepts, we're a Go Green company. We're teaching people how to reuse, refill, and recycle the cartridges that they're already buying. They don't have to buy it every month. They can buy it once and then buy one of our refill systems and then do it themselves and save the most money. So I think that covers our structure and where we're heading, and I'm ready for the next question.
Awesome, awesome. I appreciate that. Next question is, Lenny, what do you see as your vision for Inkway? I mean, with a lot of different companies that are out there, what makes Inkway different than all the others?
Okay. Well, first of all, there's nobody in the consumer direct marketing business that has a platform that like we have. There's no companies, there's no MLMs out there that sell ink and toner. So there's websites out there that sell ink or toner, but there's nobody who, when you have, like at ComSurfGo, let's back up a little. At ComSurfGo, my 1,000 technicians in 55 countries were my feet in the street. If I had a product that I wanted to move into those accounts, and there was lots of maintenance products that we came up with along the way, we would just have a meeting, have a team meeting, and then we would disperse. We'd have it in New York first, and then we would move from New York to a New Jersey meeting, and then a California meeting, and then we'd move to other countries, and we'd brief our staff. They would tell the buyers and the workers at that account what it was, and they were our feet in the street. So all this time, I had a vision early on about a product that the masses would buy, that would save them time, save them money, and now it's a reality. It was that 185-page business plan with drawings and everything else that has become an actual reality. So this is the third company that I've built from the garage to success. The first two, the typewriter maintenance business, we sold for a profit. The second one we sold in 2000 to Marty and Tom for a profit. And now this company, all along, all these years, I wanted to have all of my employees not be employees, but be partners. And I brought this up early on to when Marty and Tom only owned 20% of the business. I said we should make everyone a partner. If everyone's an owner, everyone's going to be our feet in the street. Everyone's going to carry our vision, carry our message, and sales are going to go up and up and up and up because we're going to share with everybody. You know, there's no reason for us to be the owners and pay people a lesser amount. So they thought I was out of my mind. Now I have a company where everybody is their own business entrepreneur. Everybody, whether you want to do this part-time at home, or whether you want to open an office and do this full-time, or whether you are a soccer mom or a soccer dad, or whether you have a full-time job and you just want to do this at night and on the weekend, our InkwayUSA websites are going to rock this planet because in your software, you're going to have a video lineup that if somebody's interested, if someone becomes a customer and they're buying from your replicated website and they say, hey, you know, I've learned how to refill. I like refilling now. I've been a customer, but you know what? I could use an extra $500 a month. I would like to make $2,000 a month. I'd like to make $10,000 a month. I'd like to become a millionaire as an entrepreneur. they can do that. At InkwayUSA, we have room for over 300 millionaires. We're going to create 300 millionaires at InkwayUSA. And that is exciting. And I know, Blakester, that you always like to say there's room for 299 because you've taken one of those spots and you're going to be one of those millionaires. So you can make this InkwayUSA business as small as you want or as big as you want, because everybody out there on the planet, your neighbors, your community members, your friends, your family, they're all using ink and toner and they're all getting ripped off. And you at InkwayUSA are going to be the alternative. Okay, Blakester, I am ready to move on.
Awesome information. Question number, let's see here. The next question, it says, besides yourself, who are the individuals on your administrative team to help you take on such a massive sales initiative? And what are their credentials? And what are their areas of responsibility? So it's kind of three questions in one, Lenny.
Okay. So here in Fresno, we have our headquarters. And at headquarters right now, there's Betsy Greene, her nickname is Mrs. Ink. I'm the Ink Man. By the way, my license plate says Ink Man, and Betsy Greene's license plate say Mrs. Ink. It's been our nicknames for many, many years now. Before she even had a car, we had plates that said Mrs. Ink, and now they're on her car. So headquarters here, where we've opened up slots to hire a lot of tech, what I call customer success technicians. And as we grow, we're going to bring on one after another after another. My personal assistant is Linda Hill, who many of you know. And Linda is really like our office manager, my personal assistant, and she runs things here in Fresno. So Linda, I think you're doing a great job, and I want to thank you for that. So that covers our Fresno area, and as we grow, we're going to get bigger office spaces and fill it with more and more tech support technicians, because one of the things we do for you is 24/7 tech support. There'll be live chat. There's live chat already, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We just switched our phone system over to 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. So when you call our main number, the people have to answer the phone by the third ring, and they take your name, your number, whether it's a tech support issue, whether you want to order, and we then handle that from there. So that's headquarters here. Now, the Blakester, who's asking me the questions, Robert the Blakester Blakely, he is our Director of Distributor Success. And he has years and years, over 20 years, of building teams out in the industry of consumer direct marketing, multi-level marketing. He's been a consultant to many of the players that are out there, and he is now our Director of Distributor Success, and he's going to be here to do trainings. We're going to set up trainings. Though, right now we have one weekly webinar a week, but there'll be more, and Blakester will be doing sales trainings. He specializes in the psychology of selling. Blakester, you are awesome, and you are doing an awesome job, and I want to thank you also. And we have next our Vice President of Operations at Greene Concepts, and that is Tor Eikeland, located in Norway, and he has over 20 years of team building, multi-level marketing, information technology background, and he's been a tremendous asset to the team. And I appointed him as our Vice President of Operations, and all of the things that get created from the Board of Directors and myself will get passed down to Tor, and then everything will go from Tor down to the troops. And, we're really excited. Tor, you've just been doing an outrageous job, and I want to thank you for all of your time and your effort. Now, our new Chief Financial Officer is Keith Kramer. And Keith has been our actual accountant. Kramer and Nelson have been our accounting firm for the past 5 years. And Keith Kramer has come on board as our Chief Financial Officer. And shortly, we expect to bring in all this funding, and then we're going to be moving to bigger offices so we have desks for all the people. So Keith has 25 years of accounting experience in his own firm. He's an entrepreneur. I get to brainstorm with him all the time. Have an appointment with him Monday. He's still at his offices. We'll be moving him soon to our offices, and we might even open up offices inside his offices. So we're looking at that as we speak. And you know, it's great to be able to sit with another entrepreneur and bounce things off of them. And a lot of the InkwayUSA founders are entrepreneurs, so it's really a pleasure to work with all of you together. And so, Tor, I want to thank you for that. And later on, remind me, Linda, if I forget, but we want to bring on Micah Wallace from Exactly. And Micah and I have been working on different funding situations all week long. And we want to bring him up later and introduce him to everybody. And a lot of you already are part of Exactly, and Exactly is going to be part of Inkway, and Inkway is going to be part of Exactly. It is already, but we'll train you more on that down the line. So I think that kind of covers it. Now, the question of, for this massive thing that we're going to do, our software system is programmed in a way where everything's going to be on autopilot. So yes, we're going to need more bookkeepers. You know, when Keith comes on into our offices or we move into his, he has 2 bookkeepers already. They'll be part of the Inkway team. They're part of the Inkway team now. I mean, they're doing our books now. But when we need a 3rd and a 4th bookkeeper on the Inkway side to watch that software on a daily basis, and when we need more customer success representatives to help in filling orders, and we need more people in shipping, like right now, we have shipping out of the Fresno office, and we have Tim Vu doing that, and then we have Scott Dotson at the Madera warehouse, and he's doing the shipping, and that's when the truck comes in from a big catalog company. We don't ship it out of you know, Madera is 1 town over, by the way. It's our warehouse is 1 mile from here, so maybe 1.5 miles the most. So when we fill an order for 10,000 Freeing for Life systems, which is made by Acubrite, or Monday's order for the intelligence order, well, the catalog company sends a truck to the Madera warehouse, and Scott has them on pallets and crates, and he has it wrapped, and he has all the bill of lading done, and all the paperwork, the routing guide, and all that, and he meets that trucker, and that trucker then loads it onto an 18-wheeler and brings it to the catalog company somewhere in the USA, if they're in the USA. So that's what happens also in our shipping, receiving. So as we need more people at the warehouse with Scott Dotson, Scott has 1 guy there already named Jim, and when Scott needs more people, we'll give him more people. When Tim needs more people in the Fresno office for more shipping, we'll give them more people. When we need more customer service reps, we will give more people and add more people. So we're building smart. We're not going to have people sitting around wasting money on payroll right now. We're doing everything in a cost-efficient way. And keep in mind also that this business is a recession-proof business. No matter what happens in the economy, everybody still has to print to keep going. Everybody has to keep printing. So in good times, we will all do good. In bad times, we will all do good because we have a product that is recession-proof. It's recession-resistant, is what I like to say. Okay, Blakester, we're ready to go to the next one.
Awesome information, Lenny. The next question is pretty important to everybody. Just states here, how close is Inkway to launching?
Okay, so Inkway, we need to finish paying the programmers, so we wanted to sell 100. We're offering 400 of these Inkway profit pool units. 400 units times $360 is 144,000. We're paying everybody back 150% of their investment, so we're taking in 144,000. We're paying back 216,000, and again, to remind everyone, we're paying them out of $5 per flagship product sold as we move forward, and we're going to start paying everybody back when we get to 6,000 distributors. And there's room, I was telling you before, for 10 founding forefathers. We have commitments already for 4 of those positions. So 4 of those positions are accounted for. That's 40,000 distributors that these 4 guys are going to bring in, each 10,000 distributors over a 24-month period to qualify as a founding forefather. And there's commissions built into the Synergy Comp Plan for them And anyone interested in one of those spots, send me an email at CEO@InkwayUSA.com. That's CEO for Chief Executive Officer at InkwayUSA, Inkway, INKWAY, USA.com. And if you're interested, I will send you this sheet on the distributors in your email that show you how you qualify and how you are compensated. So that's what's really powerful and exciting, that the day we launch, we then bring in these 4 founding forefathers. I have others lined up that I'm still talking to, but 4 of these positions are closed already. There's only 6 left, and that's 40,000 distributors. Plus, we're starting with 1,000 distributors from our pre-launch, which gives us, it's amazing how fast our feet in the street are going to grow worldwide. So, the launch, once we raise the first 130 of these units, which is around 50 grand, 140 units is, if you take 140 units times $360 is $50,400. Let's just use that, round off. Let's just use 50,000. We pay our programmers, and they then will be ready to launch us 6 weeks later. They're between 60 and 70% done. We need to get a large payment to them, and they will then knock this off in 6 weeks, and we'll be ready to launch. All right, Blakester, that answers your question there.
Okay, next question, Lenny, is can you give us details on what's been developed and put into place up to this point?
Okay. Now, I don't know, about 3 weeks ago, beginning of this month, on November 5th, I flew to one of the largest big box retailers in this country, in the world, actually, not just this country. They're worldwide, and I flew to another appointment and closed the deal. We've been working on it for 3 years. You know, what we use is we use professional salespeople that already have relationships with the buyer. Like I told you before, a different sales guy at a large drugstore chain who's been selling in there for over 10 years is presenting our intelligence product on December 3rd. So that's one particular group. This big box chain retailer group is another group that has over 400 products, other people's products, in this big box retailer, this large chain worldwide retailer. So they're experts at it. They know all the buyers. They know all the buyers' bosses. They know everybody at the company. You know, when I walk through with the salesman, who's been our salesman for 3 years now, he knows everybody. Everybody by their first name. Everybody knew everybody. You know, everybody knew my sales guy, and it was just a pleasure to go down there. And it's my second time there, over 3 years. And you know, it takes a long time to close something like this, but we're starting out at their .com site with the black and color intelligence refill system, and then we're going to do a store rollout, probably in about 1,000 different stores. You know, buyers there that I've talked to in the past said that they usually do a test in about 1,000 stores, and then from there they roll out to thousands and thousands of stores, and they'll start in the USA and then they'll go global. So that's really exciting. Because we have this deal, and soon we'll be online, so our salesmen around the country and around the world will be able to walk into other big box retailers and say, just want to show you the intelligence product line. Look, we're at so-and-so.com. And when you're with a company this large, everybody wants to be your friend. Everybody else is interested. So when my sales guy at the chain store, the drugstore, saw this video last week, he contacted me. We started to dialogue back and forth, and he said, yeah, you know, I want to present this $127 billion industry by 2017. You know, this drugstore chain is missing out on customers that can walk into the store to buy the refill system, and when they're there, they'll buy something else. So it increases the store traffic, it increases the dollar volume, and that's really exciting. Does that answer it, Blakester? That's one of them. And this week we got a PO from a large catalog company. That's another sales group we use that specializes just in catalog companies. They specialize in Home Shopping Network and QVC, and they are presenting there. I'll announce if anything positive happens. I'll announce that to you in the future. But you know, we're shakers and movers. We have a product that the masses need. Last year, the industry statistics for people that are refilling themselves hit $12 billion. $12 billion for do-it-yourself refillers. So that's exciting. And when the buyer at a store chain hears that, they're like, wow, I didn't get that. I don't have a refill system in my store. Let's talk. And now that we're with the big boys, they want to talk even more. So it's going to be, you're going to see lots of results, snowball effect that I talk about. You know, we're at the top of the mountain. We went from that 185-page business plan with drawings to a reality. Our foundation is in place. We're ready to blast off. We're ready to explode. And all we need is a little bit more funding to get over the top of that mountain. All right. What else do we have today?
Okay, Lenny, one final question, and then we should be able to end out the call.
All right.
The final question is, what does Inkway need in order for the doors to open? Can you please also share about the profit bonus pool? And that's the final question.
Okay, so let's take the elite profit sharing pool first. And every product sold, there's a commissionable value on it. 50% goes directly to that distributor. 50% drops into the elite bonus pool. So there's thousands of products on company-wide, every distributor out there. All these founding fathers with the 40,000 distributors, every product sold, an amount of money, whether it's $2, $5, $15, or $20, goes into the elite profit sharing pool. Every flagship product sold, $32.50 drops into the elite profit sharing pool. Acubrite, all the sales at the catalog companies, the big box retailers, every 90 days when we do our quarterly report, 15% of that profit drops into the elite profit sharing pool. That pool gets split up amongst all elite distributors every 6 months. That pool is going to be substantial. It's going to be huge, and it's going to keep growing and growing, and the checks are going to get larger and larger. So that's the elite bonus pool. And what was the other part of that question?
Sorry, I was muted. I'm just pretty much, what is it, how far are we from opening the doors?
Gotcha. So we need to make this large payment, and we're looking at bringing in a minimum of $50,000 right away, paying off the programmers, and we can 6 weeks later we can launch InkwayUSA. And then at that point, our 1,000 distributors can get active with their replicated websites and sales, and our 4 founding forefathers, the 4 positions, can start filling in all these 40,000 people. So the company is going to blast off. We're going to have feet in the street and representation worldwide, and it's going to explode. So that is where we're at, and we would like any founder, any current founder, we would like you to come on in and buy an Inkway Profit Pool unit at $360 or a half unit at $180, and we really could use your help. Right now, you're the ones that got us from point A to where we're at now, which is point B. And for us to get to point C, we need this funding. So if you haven't already, call me up at 559-289-4465. If you get my voicemail, I'm on the phone with someone else. Leave me your name and number. I will call you back very quickly. Again, 559-289-4465. Or you could go to inkonline.net and you can purchase a unit there. For outside investors, you know, where can you invest money right now and get 150% back on your investment from a business that's about to explode? So that's really exciting, and you know, I'm interested in talking to any outside investors that, if you see this on YouTube and you're interested in talking further, call me, 559-289-4465, or email me at ceo@InkwayUSA.com.